And welcome back to my channel. This is Roslyn Adams and I'm happy to have you here. Today we are going to be walking you through the step-by-step process of how we moved from the UK to Canada as permanent residents. So it's going to be a no holding back video. So we're going to be giving you the step-by-step guide of how we moved, every little details you need to know, to do it yourself. Yes, if you've watched my previous videos, I always emphasize on DIY. Yes, I have the face behind the DIY here. All the paperwork, the online was done by my amazing husband. So we're going to be walking you through the process so that you can also do it yourself. It's a no holding back video, like I said, so do not miss any part of this video. Let's go straight into it. Welcome back, everyone. What is Express Entry Program? So Express Entry Program is Canada's online immigration system that manages every immigration for skilled workers. And this system manages three programs. There are three programs under this system. We have the Federal Skilled Worker Program, and we have the Federal Skilled Trade Program, and then we have the Canada Experience Class. So you can explore any of these three programs, but the emphasis today, what we'll be focusing on today, is the program we explored, which is the Federal Skilled Program, Federal Skilled Worker Program. So what can you say about this program?
Okay, first and foremost, if you are in the UK and planning to relocate, you need to decide for sure which country you want to go to. In this case, we are talking about Canada Immigration Pathway, which is the Express Entry Program. And the first thing you will do is to check where your what your standing is. And how do you know what your standing is? You go through Google, just type in Express Entry Calculator, as you can see on your screen, or CRS calculator, whichever one it is. You type it there, and then you're able to check what you see to bring up option, for you to fill in your details, your name, your age, your qualification, your ties to Canada, and what have you, even your language proficiency. So if you're able to, you fill in all of that in, and then, it will suggest what your score will be to you, as you can see on your screen. So once that is done, you now know that, okay, you have a good chance. If your score is 460, 480, 500, whatever the score is, you are able to know where you stand, and that is when you begin the process. Haven't, discovered that you will be able to meet the criteria in terms of the score based on what you have inserted. It will now be for you to prepare every document to meet all of what you have, filled in the Express Entry Calculator. You start with your language proficiency, which is very key, because if you have all the certificates in this world, of course, if you don't have the language, if you don't meet the language proficiency, you're not going to be selected, you're not going to be invited, so that's very key. So you begin preparation for your language proficiency, either your IELTS, your CELPIP, and
English language proficiency.
Yeah, English language proficiency, or French, depending on which one you want to.
In my case, I wrote both French and English. Yeah. And for the English language proficiency, you have diverse exams you can write. We have the IELTS General, which is the most popular, and there's CELPIP, which tests your Canadian English, and then there is also PE, is it PEP or PEF? I'll put it up while editing this video. So there are three categories of tests that you can actually choose from, whichever one is convenient for you. Okay, for me, I wrote IELTS. And if you're proficient in French, why not? This will also improve your chances. Then you should take either TCF or TEF Canada. So when you make sure, and also ensure to max your text, like pass it, because it will also increase your point and increase your chances in the pool. Then, having done your language proficiency test, the next thing will be what?
Okay, so just before we move on to the next thing, before you even decide on the language proficiency test, it's important to decide for yourself that's if you are coming as a spouse or as a married couple. It's better you determine among yourself who will be the principal applicant, because it's the language proficiency of that principal applicant that is key. As a matter of fact, in some cases, the result, yeah, of course. So the result of the language proficiency of the principal applicant is very key, and that's what will be evaluated. That's what we accumulate the highest or the most score, as the case may be. That of the spouse will just be a little addition, maybe 10 points will be added there about, depending on the performance. But for the main applicant, it's going to be a lot of score that, will come in from there. So you decide who will be your principal applicant. And how do you decide who will be your principal applicant? In this case, if you are coming as a spouse, you don't have to be forming, I am the man, so I have to be a principal applicant, or I'm the woman. No, it is who can pass the language test. That's who comes as a principal applicant. No Sherry Cambia. Who can pass the language test most? In my own case, I knew that I wouldn't do so well with the language test, and bam, she gave it to me on first try. She did it, especially the English language proficiency. She did it, and we came and we are here all the same. So, yeah.
Okay, so the next thing after the language proficiency is your ECA, that is the educational credential assessments, which you can do with the most popular body in charge of that is WES, World Educational Services and all of that. And there's also ICAS, so there are other bodies just like the exam, language test.
Absolutely.
So whichever one that is convenient for you, assess your highest credential. If I say something highest, it could be your master's, it could be your degree, and then you are done with the evaluation. And the third thing will be...
Okay, before we move to the third thing, because we already have promised that we'll give all the details, every little details. So if you are coming in and you are trying to evaluate your result, how do you evaluate it? Because a lot of people will hear this and it will sound vague to you. You go to wes.org, as you can see on your screen, wes.org, and then you click credential evaluation, and then you choose which one. If you are coming through education, you will see the education one, and if you are coming through immigration, you choose the IRCC immigration route, your immigration option, and that's the one. So all of that will be displayed on your screen as you are following. And once you are filling all the required, you create account. Once you create your account on the WES platform, and then you fill in all your details, you make the necessary payment. I think we paid about $200, 200 Canadian dollars as at the time we're doing our own WES evaluation. And then, you write your score. You now begin to check in with your score. For those who have UK credentials already, it might not be as stressful. It will be very smooth. But for those who have West Africa credentials like Nigeria, as the case may be, you may need to now begin to find out who is in charge of transcript in your school, have access to them, or write them, or call them so that they can wait for the email, check their emails, and they can respond to wes.org, and that will be it. So bear in mind that you might also be required to make some payment for your transcript in your school. So, but it's not usually much, depending on which school certificate you are using. Yeah.
Okay. And the last thing, there are so many requirements, but the main three things that you need to enter the pool, the third one is your passport, your international passport. Of course, you cannot be talking about, relocating or traveling abroad without having an international passport. And why are these three documents the main documents? Because you'll be needing the numbers, or, there are serial numbers on each of these documents that you'll be needing to input while applying in the pool. So you need these three main things, and then every other document will be mentioned will be documents you will need to present after you have been invited,
Yeah. Okay, so talking about the passport, if you have a passport that is valid for just 1 year, meaning you have just 1 year, you have just 1 year remaining on the passport before it expires, I will advise that before you begin anything, try to begin the process of renewing that passport, because the express entry process usually takes between 6 months to 1 year before everything goes through. So it's possible that by the time you'll be done with the whole application process and you'll be requested to submit your passport for visa, it's possible that the passport will be expiring. So bear in mind that you need to possibly begin to think about renewing your passport so that you have a valid document that will be presented when your passport is requested for your visa.
And that takes me to this question. Is it actually something a lot of people have been asking me right after I posted about migrating to Canada, if it's actually something they can do themselves? Some people were saying I should refer them to one consultant or the other to help them. Is this a process you can actually do yourself?
Yes, it's a process. Absolutely, it's a process you can do for yourself and by yourself. We did ours by ourselves. We didn't need to, contract any agent to do it for us. We did everything A to Z by ourselves, and that's why we're able to speak to it today. So once all of your document is intact, you have your result evaluated, you have your language proficiency completed, or language test completed. Bear in mind that the main applicant must have 8 points on listening for IELTS and the equivalent of that on CELPIP or any other one you choose to write. So that's very key. If you have 799 points across other category criteria and you don't have up to 8 points on your listening, it's as good as you have not written it at all. You might need to rewrite it. So 8 points is really important. You have a bonus point and then you are able to also qualify for the express entry category. So once all of that is completed, you have your IELTS, you have your WES, you have your passport, that's all you need. You now go to express entry. Just Google on your phone or on your laptop, express entry. If you Google express entry, you click on the one with IRCC, as you will be able to see on your screen. The one that have the official IRCC website. That's what you click, and then you go through the link, and then you will see where you see express entry there. You click it, and you create your express entry account. And this account is not like bank account that you have to pay money. When the express, all this process up till when you create your express entry account is free. You are not paying for creating express entry account, and you can create for yourself and your wife can also create one. But if you don't meet the language test, requirement, there's no point even opening express entry for yourself in the first place, in my own view. So create express entry, fill in all your details, everything you've got, and then you now patiently begin to wait for invitation.
Before we get to that, what is the importance of having the right job experience, work experience?
It's very key, because another thing you need to consider while creating your express entry is to know which NOC your experience fall into, and if the NOC
National Occupation Classification.
Yeah, so you want to know which criteria, under which NOC, National Occupation Classification, does your own experience fall into.
And is it part of the job in demand in Canada?
Very well. So it has to be part of the job in demand in Canada. And to play it safe, I would just say that you can also Google, check which occupation are in demand currently, and then which NOC are most in demand in Canada. Is all available. I think we'll just do a slide of it there so that you see it, as
I can't cover all the jobs. There are lots of jobs.
So you just take a scroll, right? So, you check which, under which, NOC does your experience fall into. And in the event that your job experience does not directly fall into the NOC that is most, look at other areas where other things you have done that's related to the most in-demand NOC. And that will help you, and then so far you can, you have references you can use to back up your claims, that will work for you.
Okay, so this is where we'll be stopping for now. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section, because we'll be making subsequent videos to respond to those questions. Trust me, like we said, it's something you can do yourself. And if it's your dream to relocate to Canada in this year 2026, trust me, it is doable. If you can do it, you can also do it. So drop your questions and we'll be responding to them in our subsequent video. So what do you have to say before we call it a wrap?
So thank you so much. In this video, we were only able to cover from pre-preparation onto creating your Express Entry account. And, in the next video, like she mentioned, there are still other steps that you'll be needing to do, especially once you gain your invitation to apply. That is when the work actually begins, but the first stage of creating your Express Entry,
and
waiting
for you to enter the pool,
and getting you to enter the pool, and then waiting for your invitation to apply. That's just what we have explained here, and hopefully there will be more time to talk about how to fill in your document properly and appropriately, once you get your invitation to apply, and what you need to get ready. That's when you'll begin to talk about funding, proof of fund, police report, and everything, and we'll also be giving you some hints on, things you need to do that can shorten your waiting time so that you don't necessarily delay yourself when you are waiting for your invitation to apply. But I want to get your feedback on this video and know what your questions are, and it will motivate us to go ahead and do that video. Thank you so much. Over.
Please don't forget to subscribe. Au revoir. Bye.